haunting fear. It's from Troma.
It's Oscar time, and it's a safe bet that the company responsible for those films will not be taking home any gold statuettes this particular season. Sorry, guys, that's just the way things work out. But that doesn't faze these two gentlemen, some of the folks from Troma Films, or their devoted cult following. Troma has been cranking out movie after low-budget movie for 25 years, and now they're taking on the Bard himself. The latest result, Tromeo and Juliet. Joining us today is co-founder of Troma Films, Lloyd Kaufman, and his co-writer, James Gunn. Welcome and congratulations to both of you.
Thank you, Josh. Thanks.
Why taking on the Bard now?
Well, the British Film Institute did a marvelous retrospective of Troma years ago, and to get rid of me, they sent me down to Stratford-on-Avon. And while I was there, as James knows, the spirit of Shakespeare entered my body. And,
he did.
And I cannot tell you which orifice the spirit of Shakespeare exited my body.
I appreciate that.
But
thank you very much.
Tromeo and Juliet was formed. And at the same time, I, who have been making movies for 25 years, we're looking at the young folk today, you young folks, and why are you tattooing yourselves? Why are you piercing yourselves? And why are you doing other things? Why are you turning inward? Is it perhaps that the 60s generation has smothered you and stopped all emotion? And that is kind of the theme of Tromeo and Juliet.
Well, let's talk also a little bit about Troma Films for people who might not be familiar with it. You've been making films for 25 years, cranking out quite a large body of work. What was it that gave you the desire to start doing this?
We are also cranking out very beautiful bodies, if I may say.
That's right.
And,
yes,
we're very
indeed.
proud of that.
Yes, let's not lose sight of that as well.
I think when people, correct me if I'm wrong, Jane,
Okay.
correct me if I'm wrong, as we say in the tube, Troma movies appeal to people who know when they go to a cinema, they may see something like The Toxic Avenger, which they love, or they may see something like Sergeant Kabuki Man, which they hate, but they know they will never forget Tromeo and Juliet. I think that Troma movies are an adventure in the cinema.
And it's a Troma brand name. I think that we are one of the only studios, maybe one of two studios, the other ones which are much bigger studios, which has a brand name, and people can go and they can see a Troma movie and they know that they're getting a certain type of quality entertainment, a type of over-the-edge storytelling, an ability to do whatever we want. Because we're lower budget, we're able to have a lot of freedom to do whatever we want in our films and mix comedy and horror and action and eroticism. And most companies are not able to have the freedom that Troma has, and we're able to do that and survive and thrive.
Well, let's show the folks who might not be familiar with Kabuki Man or The Toxic Avenger a little clip of what they may have missed at a cinema near them.
No, I'm a good guy. I'm a superhero.
This hideously deformed creature of superhuman size and strength starred in 2 sequels.
The Toxic Avenger Part 2.
People of Tromaville, the Toxic Avenger's back.
The Toxic Avenger Part 3.
Another upcoming Troma release is both a feature and animated cartoon series, is entitled
Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD.
Wow.
Yes, a little smattering of applause, almost a
Unbelievable.
golf clap for the folks from Troma. Very nice. Now, the Kabuki Man, not as big as a success. The Toxic Avenger was very popular, especially in the tri-state area.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we had 3 Toxie movies, and this is something which not too many people know, but there's in the works now a very large budget version of The Toxic Avenger by a major studio, which would be like a $30, $40, $50 million film.
Now, what role, seriously for a second, financially, what role do you guys play in that? You had 3 successful parts of a Toxic Avenger film, the last one being The Last Temptation of Toxie. Now it's going to be a big budget spectacle. How much of a say do you have in what appears on the screen, and what percentage of those profits would you see?
Well, we really, Cassian Elwes, who's one of these super agents at William Morris, he has embraced the Toxic Avenger on that level, so it is in his hands. Meanwhile, we are writing the 4th Toxic Avenger Troma lower budget film called A Fistful of Toxie, which will be our tribute to Sergio Leone, the great Sergio Leone.
Yeah.
The great Sergio Leone.
So we're going to continue to do the Troma product, and yet perhaps a different take on the Toxic Avenger, which is also needed in the world, will be able to come out. And I think that's a great thing.
Now, you're the latest member of the Troma family. What is it that drew you to the work that Lloyd and the group at Troma have been doing?
I have been, Lloyd was my hero, you know, and I had been a fan of Troma films for many, many years. I snuck into Squeeze Play when I was 11 years old at the local theater in St. Louis, Missouri, and I thought it was something completely unique. Here was a movie that was goofy, that was fun, that had a lot of humanity to it, and that was, to me, what brought me to Troma, because I've always enjoyed what are commonly referred to as low-budget films, sometimes called B pictures. But the thing about Troma that's different is that there's a lot of heart, a lot of originality, and a lot of uniqueness, and an unwillingness to copy off of other filmmakers.
Well, let's show the folks at home some of that heart, some of that uniqueness with this clip from Tromeo and Juliet.
Written by James Gunn.
Nice closing shot there of the porcine, rather, Juliet.
Well, actually, it's more of the
bovine. Yeah, she's bovine.
And it's utterly delightful bovine.
Oh, yes,
You know, the music, a little known fact, the music in that was Lemmy from Motorhead, who appears in the film and gave us his music and his appearance for free. That's how he loves Troma movies.
Fantastic.
Tom Hanks or one of those guys, in order to get them to even act in a movie, you have to give them $25. But people love us.
And that's
unfortunately, gentlemen, I'm sorry we're out of time.
Oh my
but
gosh!
it's a
Wait a minute,
pleasure to have you here.
look what we have.
Brief,
a Troma diploma for Josh because of his excellent
junior college.
Tromaville Junior College Troma diploma, and you are.
Gentlemen, I am honored.
For Josh,
I am
big
not
round of
worthy.
applause.
I am not worthy.
Tulamon,
Jamie Gunn, Lloyd Kaufman, gentlemen, thanks for being
nice
here.
to meet you.
Good luck with the movie.
Thank you so much.
Nice to see you. We'll be back in just a moment. By the way, if you'd like more information on Troma films, contact the Troma team locally, 757-4555, or visit their website at www.troma.com/home. I graduated from junior college. I'm so excited. Thank you, Joe. This is great.